My name's John. I'm 24. I'm from Massachusetts, and this is Financial Audit.
Well, thanks for coming down from Massachusetts. What do you do for a living there?
I'm a site reliability engineer. I work remotely from my house.
Yep. Okay, cool. So I assume that comes with a pretty delicious income, right?
It's pretty good, yeah.
What is it?
I think I into my account, I get about $8,100 a month.
Wow. Okay, that is a delicious income. Massachusetts is pretty expensive, though. Where in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm on the south coast near like Cape Cod.
Okay, that sounds expensive. Is it expensive? What's your rent off the bat? What's your rent?
I live with my parents, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So $97,200 net a year. Mm-hmm. And we're living with parents, which means you better have an amazing retirement account and no debt. But whoops, you have debt.
Yeah, a little bit.
Retirement account is okay. Interesting. So what's your financial situation? What are we looking at today?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'd say it's pretty good. Much better than it was like last year.
Mm-hmm. What was up with last year?
So I started doing engineering like jobs right out of college. Got a pretty decent like internship, and from there, I was actually really good with my money because I was a broke college student. Got a decent job, and I was not spending any of it. But then, kind of lifestyle creep just hit me hard.
Even though you still live with the parents.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I did end up moving out for like a couple months, but I had a really bad issue with a neighbor in my apartment building. So that's why I moved back.
What kind of issue? Did they try to shoot you?
No, she was just, the walls were very thin, and she was like, just always like yelling through the walls to like keep it down, even though like I'm a pretty quiet person. And to the point where like there was a time where I called the cops on her because she was threatening to call the cops on me for just talking in my apartment. And then
break the lease.
They were pretty understanding because they've actually had quite a few people leave because of that.
I'm surprised they don't kick tenant her out.
Yeah, literally within the week that I left, another tenant had already left because of her. So yeah, it was a pretty rough situation.
That's insane. Okay, so then you went back home. So lifestyle inflation, or you just spending a lot of money on just fun food and stuff?
Yeah, basically. Like I mean, I was looking at my bank account, but it kind of just felt like, I was getting the steady income and I could buy whatever I wanted, and like as long as I paid off my credit card at the end of the month, I was good to go. So,
which I mean, in general, okay, sure. And if we're not in bad debts or anything, we can certainly spend like 30% of our money, especially in your age, on net money on fun. There's nothing wrong with that, but like, I guess it depends the overall situation. So we need to get an entire picture of what your situation looks like. Mm-hmm. What would you give yourself right now in terms of your financial situation in general, not for your age, but your financial situation, where you should be in life, 0 out of 10?
I'd probably give myself like a 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Mainly because of the debts.
Yeah. Sure.
that I have, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to hit the debts first. So 24 years old, $79,623, a payoff amount for something. What is this something?
That is a private student loan.
Private student loan?
Yeah.
Well, it's on forbearance. So they did give you and then it's at 7%.
Yeah.
So does this start up when the federal ones start up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'll
nice enough for them to do it, because sometimes like Sally Mae, that will be a and make you pay all the way through.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they forbeared it until like kind of with the federal.
Yeah.
So I haven't paid a dollar of my student loans, and that's why I've been trying to like kind of situate myself.
Yeah. I wouldn't have. Okay. So my logic on this, in terms of student loans and the forbearance, it's like, okay, since there's 0% on right now, it makes no mathematical sense to pay it, even if it is higher interest later than the 7% we certainly want to pay off. But that's as long as the money we would put towards it to pay it off earlier, while it's on forbearance, is going towards investing. Was all the money you would normally put towards it going towards investing? Every single cent?
Absolutely not.
Then you did it wrong. So
yeah, completely agree.
Okay, so what was the logic behind not paying this off then? Because clearly we've decided you did it in the wrong way. What was the logic?
There was absolutely no logic. 100%. Like I said last year, like I think my take home for the year was like 89.4K, and I spent 89K.
Where'd you get to school in the first place? Why'd you have to borrow so much private student loan debt?
I went to a private university freshman year and ended up losing my scholarship because I had like a 2.99 GPA and you needed to maintain a 3 or higher. But because of that, I switched to a state school, but I lived on campus there. And
what private school did you go to? I want to take a brief moment to thank today's episode sponsor, SoFi. Student loans are crazy. We know that. We talk about them all the time on this show, and there needs to be a way to get a better grasp on them. We know that many private student loans that people take out while they're in college can have insane predatory interest rates. And when you're stuck in a situation like that, you feel like you just cannot get out of it. You feel like you can't even picture what the future looks like, whether or not you can get a house or retire. But that's where SoFi can be a helpful resource. With SoFi, refinancing your student loans can be a step forward in making your financial goals a reality. They're a mobile-first personal finance company that's helping their members bank, borrow, and invest all in one app. Their mission is to help their members achieve financial independence and realize their ambitions. They've helped nearly 500,000 people refinance their student loans by offering competitive rates and no fees. The process is fast, easy, and available 7 days a week with live customer support. Plus, student loans are eligible for unemployment protection, providing the loans are in good standing. So if you want to see if their rates are competitive for you, just take 60 seconds and go to SoFi.com/Caleb or use the link at the top of the description below.
It was Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Why don't you just get certified or something?
Well,
dude, I swear, in tech right now, man, I know tech is having, a little bit of a post hiring everyone layoffs type thing. But even still, for the people that are getting hired, man, experience first. Even LinkedIn just came out with a thing today saying, so dating the episode recording, saying that they think the future, based on the applicants and what hirers are looking for, are going to be based on job experience and not degrees. Man, we could have got you certified. Imagine if you went through something like the Partners We Have Course Careers or any other certification program and got certified in something, and you made the same amount of money each year, and you didn't have $80,000 of private student loan debt. Yeah. Obviously, okay, I'm not going to bully you for something you've done in the past, so I don't want you to think of that. But that's just an example for those out there, especially those who want to get into tech or, are graduating high school and then trying to decide what to do next, man. A lot do require a college degree. I highly doubt what you did does.
Yeah, I mean, actually, for my current career, I don't even think they have majors for it. It's kind of like software engineering adjacent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree. And
I'm not saying the degree is bad either, because you can get a good return on your investment. But I'd rather 2 years at community college than 2 years at a state school after that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. When I was in high school, basically it was just like, oh, everyone goes to college. I'm a decent student. You go to college. That was kind of the thought process. And I basically just went to Wentworth without even touring other schools, seeing what else was out there, or yeah. So.
I partner with Course Careers for a reason, man. For other people to check them out, because avoid this crap. Oh, jeez, this is crazy. Oh,
I will say though, I was lucky to come out. Basically, I graduated in March 2020, when COVID went crazy. Mm-hmm. I got my internship before my senior year was over, and from there I've had stable income since. So
let's calculate what this minimum monthly payment's going to be. So would you say this was a mistake?
I wouldn't say I can't take it back, and I have a really good career. Would you say
it was a mistake?
I wouldn't say it was a mistake for me, no.
Okay, well, if you don't want to make a mistake today, you should hit the subscribe button, because that'll be the best decision you've made of the day. Terrible segue. But you should subscribe, because we're trying to get to 750,000 subscribers. I'm very thankful for everyone who has subscribed so far. Thank you. So at 79,623, 7% interest, it's probably the traditional 10-year repayment, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, they have a 30-year repayment, but I'm not doing that.
But you're on the 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
I basically want to pay it off as fast as possible. And since the start of this year, I've started budgeting and everything. Dude. So I have my spending is very low.
Sure, and it better because this is about to be this is going to be $924 a month repayment. Death, absolute stupidity, death. Oh my goodness, just to get a degree. And I'm glad you're making good money with it, but again, I'm not going to bully you on it too much, but
yeah, I'm hoping to pay it off a lot. I'm hoping to put more
because
than.
Then we go to the stupid next. Sorry, go ahead and continue, and then I'll go into my.
Yeah, no, this. Yeah, okay. I was just gonna say that I'm hoping to pay that off a lot faster to save on some of the interest costs.
Oh, we're gonna 7%. You were paying it. Yeah, you're damn right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we immediately go to the next one, and we decided, oh, we're 24. We better get a brand new, awesome car.
Yeah.
Gotta get a Tesla. Where you owe $51,628. Kill me now. $98. Death. Stupid. 6%. So it's not the worst. But if you consider depreciation in cars in a standard car market, which we're getting closer and closer and closer to actually entering. Oh, again.
Yeah.
At a $931 minimum monthly payment. So now with the minimum monthly payments, we're like close to $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Starting in August.
The car gets worse too. Because so that Model 3 was 51 or 56,000 when I bought it because it has the full self-driving and the auto acceleration boost. Because of the full self-driving, I've actually been trying to sell this car. I can't find anyone to buy it because no one wants to pay the $17,000 for the software option. So I'm basically like negative $20K on it. I've been trying to sell
it for.
I mean, I just want to go get as close to even on it. You know,
I don't think you're gonna.
I'm more than happy selling it. Like I've accepted that I may want to do that to like kind of better my situation. I work from home, like I said. I literally don't need the car. I'd be happy with literally anything. And my fiance and I are looking to move in together soon. She has a car.
Fiance, so, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So what's like the lowest you'll sell it for? Let's get it on the books.
Yeah, so I just recently updated this loan to like auto pay the max that I can to try and like break down some of that debt on it so I can sell it and not have to pay like the whatever it is out of pocket. I'm not really sure. That's kind of what I'm worried about is with all that negative equity, like if I were to sell it privately, like if they bought
what
it
is the lowest? Have you determined?
I mean, I'd be willing to sell it for like 35, 30. It's just I need to
might be the play.
Yeah, because even still, like I'll save like I think it was like $11K in interest if I do that. Like right there alone, it kind of helps with that negative equity. So
it does.
Yeah,
man. Because a Tesla, it's like my dream car.
Yeah,
and yet I'm just investing everything right now, which is what you should be doing. We got to take advantage of our age. I'm almost in that big scary 3-0. But even still, the compound growth that we get to take advantage of as our age, dude, it should not $900 more than $900 should not be going to a vehicle at where you are. Yeah. Make a good income. Let's get an okay car. Sure. Absolutely fantastic. $30,000 car. I don't give a But are we doing this now? And when we talk about car debt in general, and this is just, again, with everything I say, this is based on my own past getting out of really bad debt and getting in a good point, and then, at a good point now and helping people, wanting to help people get out of the situations that I was in. There are certain debts that I'm okay with if we go about it a smart way because math always wins. Math always wins. Where I think about depreciation with a standard car, like if we use 3% leverage on a car, which is very difficult to get today, that's where I'm okay with it. If everything we would normally put at it, I'm going to use an example I'll use again. So what was this? What was the car?
It's a Tesla Model 3.
No. What was the price of the car?
Oh, $56,000.
Okay, let's call it a $60,000 car for the example. Okay, you have $60,000 saved up to go get a $60,000 car. You can buy it in cash, or you can put $10,000 down and then borrow $50,000 at a 3% interest in this dream scenario. Then, if you invest the other $50,000 in the S&P 500 and it goes, and that's not investment advice. This is an example of okay, the S&P 500 with dividends reinvested is going to do over 10% a year annually with all the up years and down years combined based on historical performance. That's obviously going to beat the 3%. And the 3%, we're also taking into account depreciation. So maybe the interest rate mathematically, if we really stretch it out, looks like more 4 or 5%, maybe even close to 6%. But still, you're beating it in the S&P 500. 6% with depreciation, certainly not going to be beating that. Now, where I'm against it is if people go ahead and put the $10,000 down, and instead of investing the $50,000, they just go below the $50,000 or even a part of the $50,000. Then it's no longer mathematically making sense. Also, when people go and take out debt on a car, okay, you have $60,000, you're going to get a $60,000 car. Oh, maybe we'll put $10,000 down, but maybe since we're putting $10,000 down, maybe we get a $65,000 car. Maybe we get a $70,000 car. No, you were going to get a $60,000 car because that's the cash you have. It only works in specific instances. You did not do it right.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. And I've actually had 3 cars before this. So like I said, my spending was like unhinged last year, in the past couple of years. Cars are one thing that I've really been into like my whole life. So I just ended up just going like through car after car. So like a lot of money was lost to just like paying down payments and on like selling the cars afterwards. And yeah, this car was like the last one before I like got my act together. I bought this car at the end of last year. And realizing now like
last year, so this was
how bad it is. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, because if you get out of this car, even if you sell it for like $30,000, then you still have to come up with the other 20.
Yeah.
So do you need a car, or do you and your fiance live together?
We don't live together yet. Yeah.
Okay.
But we will be starting at the end of the summer. Yep.
End of the summer. So pretty soon.
Yep. And I live with my parents, and they have cars as well.
Oh, that you can borrow. And then your fiance, she has a car?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay. Sorry, I assume she?
Yeah.
Okay, she, yeah. Yeah, I would borrow her car when necessary if you're working from home, and then we just get rid of this car, dude. I would at that point.
I got all the pictures taken for the posting.
Oh, you're ready? You're ready to go? What are you going to list it at?
I was thinking of listing it at like 40.
Going down to 30 when necessary?
Yeah.
Okay.
It will, like with those options, like basically a Tesla Model 3 without those options are selling for like 28, 30, like same year. With those options, technically it should be worth like a bit over 40, but just like going to a dealership, they just don't want to pay for these software options.
No.
So I'm hoping someone out there wants full self-driving. It's pretty cool, but
sure.
Yeah.
So we also have federal student loans.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeez, it just keeps going.
Yeah, the student loans are rough.
You just went into debt for this. So we're over $100,000 in student loans.
Yeah, I think it's about like 105. Yeah,
that's insanity. So here we have 276. I'm guessing that's going to be about a $250 minimum monthly payment on the traditional 10-year. Now, typically when you see these, again, it doesn't show the interest rate now because they're on deferment. I don't know why they do that because it's stupid, but it's probably going to range anywhere from 4 to 6.
Yeah, I think it was 4.15. I couldn't
Across
get it to show
board?
up there. Yeah, I believe so.
Well, usually they're different per.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to say 4 to 6%.
I saw it on a page like a couple weeks ago, and then I couldn't find it again. Okay. But yeah, it's somewhere around there.
Maybe that's the average across all of them.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Now, what is this? It's just you spent money on a card and then you paid it off?
Yeah, I think that's a Best Buy card. I wanted to bring that up
Best Buy card
because more awful
so this
spending.
is no longer the case. The balance on the Best Buy card does not exist.
It's clear. That's why I sent the other picture.
Gotcha. So we've paid off the Best Buy card. Yeah, it would have been 30%, but I'm glad we paid that off. What was that? What were you doing on the Best Buy card? You must have bought something.
Just idiotic purchases. I bought like a $2,500 graphics card and then a new MacBook.
What is that, a 4090?
It was a 3090 Ti at the time.
3090 Ti, okay. Yeah.
To play like Counter-Strike.
To play Counter-Strike, yeah.
Just, yeah. Stupid.
Maybe for the new Counter-Strike.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
With all the smoke.
Yeah, with all that I'm at that game. I'm desperately at that game.
Sorry, I am too. I have way too much time on it.
My friend tries to coach me. He's very good. He's in like the top 0.1% of them. He's crazy. But we have an American Express. So new charges, new charges, $658, and they're pretty much all so like $658 of bullshit, mostly. There's a few things like Ring monthly. I'm okay with that because it's good to keep that stuff backed up. And There's some things that are like services. I'm thinking maybe some utilities. I'm not 100% sure. And then obviously supercharging on the Tesla, that replaces gas. I'm not going to beat you down for that. But then New York Bagel and Speedwell Coffee and Shaw's and Paddle.net and Bertricky's and Ben & Jerry's and Blue Kangaroo and Stop and Shop for $15 and Wellies and Super Stop. And
so I will say, like Shaw's, Stop and Shop, Speedwell, that's all groceries. Speedwell is like my coffee subscription.
Oh, well, you don't need that.
Well, no, like whole beans. I do espresso at home.
Oh, cool, but that's an expensive way to do coffee still. And Taco Bell, and I'm a coffee dude. I get it. Like I get fancy beans, I brew them, and I do espresso at home as well. I was just drinking espresso right before this, but still, when we're in bad debt, do we need that? I don't think so. And Taco Bell and parking and TJ Maxx and Hulu, Riccardi's and Hulu, Bova Bakery, Dragon Bowl, Mac and Bullios and Panera Bread and Ichigo, Uber Eats, Red Robin. Don't think we need to be doing that.
Sure. I will say I have a pretty reasonable budget for like food spending, like going out to eat.
You shouldn't have a going out to eat spending thing if you have a 7% student loan thing that's starting in 2 months. If you have a Tesla at 6% with depreciation included in that, no. We shouldn't be having that.
That's fair.
And then $7 purchase, which was on Amazon for another card. So you pay off all the credit cards. We don't have credit card debt, which is good. We just have disgusting private student loans and some federal student loans that some of them won't be great, and then a Tesla that you're underwater in.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Is this a checking account? I think this is a checking account.
Yeah, that looks like my checking.
So you have $8,000 in there, $9,000 in there?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay, so 9,000 in checking. 9,000 in checking. There wasn't really much in here that was crazy. I'm paying for Rocket Money, which I'm, a Rocket Money proponent. Rocket Money's great. That's what I use now. And just paying off bills and cars. But this is interesting. Verizon Wireless for $237, and that happens twice.
That's my phone bill, yeah.
What the is it just your phone?
No. So I live with my parents, and I don't pay. I give them some money for rent, but we don't have like any like super hard like lines. But I basically just take over the phone bill and the internet.
Okay. Well, what happens when you move out in 3 months?
Then we're gonna split it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now you take care of that though.
Yeah. Yep.
What was that again? How much was that?
It's gonna be $211 because I just got rid of. I was paying for like protection, and it included like tech support, which is like an extra $30 a month, and they didn't tell me. So I called them up and I got that sorted.
Okay. Then this isn't other online banking, but money was in, money was out. I don't know what this is for, but it's only $100.
That's the savings that's tied to that checking.
Well, you're clearly what. Why is it $100? We've had $12,000 in there. How did it go from 12 to 0?
I opened up a high yield, and that one has like a 0.006.
Oh, so that's what the Marcus is from.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, even better than this. Not to keep plugging, but I only partner with companies because it's even better. You get 4.15. It's only 0.15 better, but you could get 4.3 by using the high yield that I use, which I linked below. Yeah, plus a bonus. You'd probably get a $250 bonus as well if you transferred it over there. Might be worth it. A few extra cents a year, a few extra dollars, depending. But you have 24,417 in there, which I'm very happy to see.
Yeah, and I will say though, and one of the reasons why I was pretty happy to chat with you is that 24,000 right there is was my savings for down payment on a house. So it is in savings, but I was very close to. I actually had an accepted offer on a house. The whole thing went through, and then it basically got bought at foreclosure as well. So then I ended up pulling out of that because it was like some crazy situation, and I didn't want to.
How much was the house?
It was like $350. Okay. Yeah.
Housing's cheap up there. Compared to what I
thought. It needed some work. It was a small ranch. It needed some work.
Compared to Austin, $350 would be a shed.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not in the city like near Boston is awful. Sure, but
I figured by the coast it'd still be expensive, but I don't really know the area, so
yeah. It seemed like a good deal, which is why we kind of pulled the trigger on it. But I'm glad that I got out of that deal because it was pretty sketchy.
Gotcha. And then we have a Schwab, which is 401k. Yep. You don't have a Roth IRA?
No, I don't.
Okay, we got to get you a Roth IRA here pretty soon. And it's $30,000 in a 2065, so index retirement fund, which I love those. Those are good. They're more aggressive at first, then they get more conservative as we get close to that retirement age. That is the 2065. So that's cool. That's it, right? No more debt.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, yep.
Scared me. Okay. So now it's gonna come down to what do we do about all this stuff?
Yeah, I had like a couple month plan. So basically, like,
what was your plan?
Me and my fiance were like gonna reattack trying to get a house at the start of next year.
No.
No.
Go ahead, continue.
Okay. So my plan was to, like, right now my monthly spending with the car, like insurance and everything, is around like $2,300, something like that.
Death.
So I was planning on using basically every other dollar to put towards first to pay down the car to get it like not underwater anymore, so I can sell it. Once I sell the car, I was gonna like start paying off the student loans, like basically all that, probably like around $5,000 a month towards student loans for a couple months, just to pay that down as much as I can. And then when we get the house, I would probably bring it down more closer to like the minimum payments or double the minimum payments, something like that.
Well, in most cities right now, you can rent for kind of under the value of homes. And a lot of the major cities that especially exploded during the pandemic. So I know in Austin, you can rent for a more affordable price than owning right now compared to the values of the homes. Yeah. So I might rent for a little longer until interest rates start doing a thing, inflation, also dating inflation 4% today, year over year. So, we'll see how long they hold. If they go up, maybe again, just a little. And then at some point, they'll probably come down, maybe in a couple of years. That might be the good time for you to get a house. But no, right now we're focused on paying off a 7% private student loans at $80,000 of stupidity. We're not getting a house right now. You, no mortgage. So $211 is going to your phone. Debt, we're getting rid of the Tesla immediately, so I'm not going to put your minimum monthly payment of that in there. The $924 of the private student loans and the $250 of the federal student loans will be $1,174 a month. Cool. Use credit cards. So you're an okay credit card person. So I'm gonna allow you to do that. But one thing you could consider, we'll use Rocket Money as well. So Rocket Money's good. Never mind. So you're good there.
Sweet.
I'm just trying to think of other things to recommend you. Mm-hmm. But I think you have good programs right now. You have good programs right now. So $1,174 is minimum debt payments. Do you know what your rent is going to be in a few months?
If I were to get an apartment?
Oh, it's not decided?
So I live with my parents right now.
Yeah, but you said you're moving in with your fiance.
She's moving in with us.
Oh, that's completely different. Okay.
Yeah.
And the internet, yep. What's your internet that you have to pay?
The internet is $100.
That's a cheap internet. Okay.
Yeah, that's gigabit, but it doesn't work too well.
Mm-hmm. Not fiber?
No, not fiber.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Yep. Now you don't pay for gas because it's Tesla, and we're getting rid of the Tesla anyway, so we're not even going to do the charging. Do you pay for any other utilities like electricity at the home, or is that on the parents?
I give my parents $150 a month for just the utilities, whatnot. Yep.
Now, how does the food situation work in the house with groceries and all that?
I buy all my groceries, and if my parents cook a meal, like I'll eat with them sometimes, but I handle my own food.
Then I think you can do kind of cheaper than most people, right? Like how often do you eat what they prepare? On average, just on average.
Not too often, like maybe once or twice a week.
Once or twice a week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you $250 for groceries.
Yeah, I will say like I've been kind of being a rat at the house, and I've been like living off of like maybe 100 to 150 a month on groceries. Like my budget I set to like 400, but I haven't really hit even close to that.
Now I'm gonna give you 250, and then for like toothpaste, face care, all that stuff, I'm giving you 75. Any other minimum monthly payments that you can think of that you have, not including the Tesla, not including what we've gone over. So no car insurance. We're not thinking about that either right now because Tesla's gone.
Yeah. That being the case, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Cool. Then your minimum monthly expenses in order to survive are actually incredible, meaning that you should be able to get out of this situation and we can get you into owning a home with your future wife. In order for you to survive, you need $1,960 a month. Compared to your $8,100, I mean, come on. 24%. Your needs are 24%. That's incredible. But obviously, we just don't like the math around the debt. So what we're going to try to do is take advantage of your income and that gap there, and you living at home now to pay off the aggressively stupid private student loan. Tesla. We sell it for 30. You owe 20. Cool. That's great.
I have to pay that like immediately though when I sell it, right?
You do, because what you're going to do is take $20,000 from your savings and it's done.
Oh, that hurts.
That hurts, but it's there for a reason. It's okay. I mean, at most, if where you are 4.15 or the savings account, I use 4.3. That's not beating 7%. So there's no point of it even being there, Sure. When we can just pay it off. Like math, it's just full math. Makes no sense.
Yep.
So we're pulling out $20,000. You have $4,417 left in there. And then you're paying off the Tesla's done today. No more car insurance. Woo. Fantastic. Saves you some money. Because we'd have about $2,000 less in how much money you have left over on a monthly basis. In fact, your needs would be 50% if we still had the Tesla.
Yeah.
So, because that thing's ridiculous for you. You do not need that yet. At some point, sure. You do not.
No, honestly, not at some point. It's just a ridiculous car to own.
It is, but I mean, at some point you can have it. It just doesn't make sense now.
Yeah.
So from there, what do we have? Tesla's gone. 8,100's coming in on a minimum monthly basis. Minus that by your 1,960. Okay, cool. So you're okay. There's $4,000 left in your savings. 4,400. Guess what? You're taking out 2,400. Sorry.
What's that for?
Just writing this down real quick. Okay, so you're taking out 6,000. No, you're taking out 6,000 from your checking and 2,400 from your savings into 8,400, and you're putting that immediately towards your private student loans. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because you, with where you are in your age, in your career field, and leaving it at home, even just with a 1 month emergency fund, which is what you're going to have on the side, that's perfect. That's okay. That's an acceptable risk level for your situation. Because if worst comes to worst, I don't think your parents are gonna allow you to starve on the street. Something tells me.
Yeah, they're pretty good people.
So we minus that by 8,400. Okay, so private student loans is now 71,223. We're going to divide that by the $6,140 you're going to put towards it a month. Actually, because you live at home, because there is money to work with, I want to be a little more flexible. I want to start being a little more flexible. I will allow $150 a month in going out to eat money.
Cool.
And
that's what my budget is right now for that.
That of course brings it down to 5,990 of what's left over, because that's still a good number. That's why I'm allowing you to have more flexibility. If people are cutting it close, then I have no flexibility, but that seems reasonable. Just so if $150 a month on enjoying a little bit of life gives you a higher success rate of completing this, even if it's a few months longer, I would rather that happen than a higher chance of it just falling apart and you not completing it. So if that's what it takes, it's a little better. So I want to be a little more flexible on that going forward, but again, it's situation to situation. So this is your situation and that does not apply to everyone's situation. Now we have $71,223 left to pay off on the private student loans, and we have an additional $5,990 on a minimum monthly basis. So divide that by that. What are we looking at? With you following that exact budget strictly, a year. So a year from now, the private student loans are gone, which is actually incredible. For an $80,000 student loan balance of 7%, I mean, a year from now, they're gone. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Imagine what your life looks like going forward.
It is. Yeah. And when I was like
crazy
using the calculator for like the student loan repayment calculator, you know, if I were to do like one of those like 15, 30 or whatever, like flex income loan repayment things, I think the interest that I would pay total was like over 200,000. So that's horrendous.
Now you have an additional $6,921 a month left 12 years from now because Tesla no longer exists.
1 year from now.
Private student, 1 year from now. Private student loans no longer exist. I'm going to say about half of those federal student loans are about 5% or higher. So those are the ones we're going to try to pay off as quick as possible. So of the 26,276, we're going to say about $13,138 of them are slightly higher interest. So we're also going to pay those off as soon as possible. And of course, with $6,921 left, I mean, that's incredible. You're going to be able to do that in 2 months. So a year and 2 months and your bad debts are gone. Then your minimum monthly payment, those lower interest, 4 or 5% or less student loans until they're paid off.
Yeah. Yep.
Until they're just gone. And that'll take about 10 years, but that's fine because it doesn't matter. Math wins. At that point, it's going to be about $125 a month going towards minimum monthly payments. At that point, what I'm okay with is 50, 30, 20. 50% on needs, 40% on wants, or 30% on wants, 20% on savings. So we can go into the world of thinking about a home at that point in a year and 2 months. Actually, I lied. So the $6,921 left, you don't need much for an emergency fund yet. We're going to do a basic starting $10,000 one. So in 2 months, save up. So a year and 4 months, all the bad debts are gone and you have $10,000 for an emergency fund. We'll want that to be higher once you have a mortgage and everything like that, but that's going to be your starter. Mm-hmm. From there, what's the percentage you're contributing right now to your 401k?
I knocked it down to like the minimum match or like the maximum match. I think it's like 3 or 4%.
Okay. Yeah. Always take the match because that's 100% return on the investment. So it makes, again, no mathematical sense not to. So we're taking the match. From there, I want you to bump that to about 10%, let's say, and then max out your Roth IRA after that. So at $6,500 a month, that's going to be $541.67 on a monthly basis that you're contributing to it. And then after that, whatever is left mathematically to get to that 20% of your income, it's probably going to be about 15 to 16% is what you're going to be putting into your 401k. And then you're maxing out your Roth IRA. So I think that's what it's going to be to hit that 20% mark that we're trying to do. So that should be good. That should be fantastic. Mm-hmm. So as long as we're maxing out the Roth IRA and then putting whatever is mathematically left into the 401k, and then try to make it a Roth option if you can, because that's even better. I don't know if they offer that. Companies are starting to offer that more and more.
Yeah, I have no idea what they offer like for Roth.
Take a look into that. Mm-hmm. If you can change it to Roth, I definitely would, because the benefits far outweigh any benefits you'd get with traditional. So from there, what I would personally do, are we still living at home at that point in a year and 4 months?
Yeah,
definitely. We are? Okay.
Yeah.
So I would actually keep my needs at 25%, and they'll actually be a little less at that time, but you can up the groceries and stuff like that if you want. But needs at 25%. I would have my wants at about 20%, and then 20% are going to investing. So that's 65% is allocated. So from there, I would have the rest going towards stuffing up as much money as possible in a high yield savings account for a down payment on a home. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm thinking $835 a month you can stuff away to home. And what will be the home price range you'll be looking for at the time for you and your fiance?
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to keep it around like 400,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just, it shows the strength of your income. In only 28 months, or 2.3 years, 2 years and a quarter, you have your 20% down payment. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. Are you going to live at home that entire time? So that's 3.5 years from now.
Yeah.
Okay, parents are okay with that?
Yeah. I don't plan on...
Fiance's okay with that?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a conversation worth having.
Yeah. But with that, you know, how I think you allocate like 20% for wants, you know, that's something that totally comfortable, like knocking that down to get the down payment.
Cut it down to 10.
Yeah.
Cut this to a 2 year or, you know, 1 year, 3/4 type thing. Like as much as you want to, that's incredible. And you're going to retire a multimillionaire and you're going to have a nice house, you know, and then at the end, who knows where the interest rates will be at that point, but maybe you'll be able to refinance it, you know, at like 3% at a later date, which would be incredible.
Yeah.
If it's not, then, you know, maybe we start paying a little bit towards it to start paying it down. But it just depends on the situation. Who knows where we're going to be at in 2-3 years. What matters most now? Let's get rid of that Tesla. This is stupid for your age. It makes no sense and you don't even use it. We're paying off like crazy by keeping our budget pretty darn strict. These private student loans aggressively hard now, and then we're paying off anything, everything that's above 5% on your federal student loans, and then maybe anything that's above 4 to 5% as well. And then minimum monthly payments until those are paid off, and then we need to start. And I want this. Let's do a little investing math real quick. So if we're doing 20%, this is of course with your income not even going up at all over the years. 24, but at the time. We got to wait a year before we can do it. So you'll have 35 years left of investing if you want to retire at 60, which is great. Live the golden years. $30,000 in there. Additional $1,620 on a minimum monthly basis over the course of 35 years. Contributing compound monthly. Beautiful. Following the average stock market return of 8% would be $4.2 million. Which is pretty cool. And that's not your income even going up at all. Yeah. So, you know, we're being, I'd say, a little more on the conservative side there. After inflation, it'd feel like $2 million in today's money. So with following the 4% rule, you could walk with $80,000 a year. And
that's not including the 401k? That's
including the 401k.
Oh, it is including the 401k.
That's everything invested. So that's your 401k, just hitting that 20% of your income.
Gotcha.
20% of your income invested. Will be that. It'd actually be a little more because the income, well, I'm trying to think. I think 1,620 is a good number to go off of. And you can amp that to 25% as well if you want to do more than that. But again, it should be higher than $2 million in today's money because your income will go up over time. But that's just what it's looking like today. So, yeah. I think you're set up for success. It's just the big thing right now is just cut back a little. Make the budget what I listed, and then pay everything aggressively towards this. I haven't seen any indication that you have so far. You've been putting a little bit into Marcus, but even Marcus is only up to $25,000. With the money you've been making, like, if you didn't bullshit last year, the private student loans would be gone. Like, we've shown that. So, right now, it just depends what you're actually going to do. Knowing yourself, knowing you and the life you live, tell me what is going to happen when you leave this place and you go home.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting rid of the car. It's something that's been on my mind, you know, past couple months. I just have been worried about the negative equity on it, and the fact that we've been looking at a house as well. So I was like, you know, I have this savings, but it's for down payment on a house, so I don't feel comfortable selling the car and having to pay that out of pocket. But yeah, definitely getting rid of the car, using whatever from savings I need to offset that. And then, yeah, just aggressively paying down the private student loans. Okay. It's kind of been my plan, but I did have in my plan getting the house at the start of next year. No, so definitely
that makes no sense.
Gonna wait on that a bit longer.
Good. If you follow this dude, you're gonna be a multimillionaire by the time you retire. And then, of course, we have a combined household income at some point. What does she do for a living?
She's a teacher.
Okay, so with the combined household income and, you know, the benefits that teachers get, like, you guys are going to be multimillionaires by the time you retire. In a pretty early retirement, too. You're not going to be working in your 60s, or you can if you want, but you're not forced to. You're not going to be working in your 70s, especially. So, you know, right at that 59 and a half when you can start some withdrawals, dude, you can start them. And it's great. It's awesome. Any final thoughts?
No, I just want to say anyone else who's in my situation, and, you know, sees themselves going down like a path, just spending a bunch of money and not realizing it, you know, hope you find this video helpful. Also shout out Bo and Sylvia for, finding Caleb and showing him to me.
Bo and Sylvia, let's go. For John, obviously he piled up an insane amount of stupid debt. But unlike most, with his income situation, being able to get rid of the Tesla and living at home, I think he's going to be the quickest out of anyone that's been on the show to get to a 10 out of 10 from where he is today. When it comes to his Hammer financial score at this point, when it comes to spending, solid middle of the road, 5 out of 10. He was certainly spending money he shouldn't have, that should be going towards the debt, and was a little over his budget of $150 that he said he was following. He clearly wasn't, but 5 out of 10, pretty middle of the road. Debt, not good, not the worst we've seen. The private student loans, come on. The Tesla at his age, come on, 2 out of 10. Retirement, very happy where he is for his age, 5 out of 10. Emergency fund, it's fantastic. He saved that $24,000. This is a 10 out of 10. I would have to take points away from that, but I'm not going to, but I would because it has to go to the student loans. But again, he saved that up and that's where it is today. So I'm very happy, 10 out of 10 for that. Real estate, that'll be like a 6, 7 out of 10, maybe a 10 out of 10 eventually. But right now it's a 0 out of 10, but that'll get there soon. Hammer financial score, 4.5 out of 10. I have all the resources in the description below that I use or would use if I was in specific situations. I've partnered with them specifically for helping you. I don't partner with any company unless it actually provides benefits, so feel free to check those out. And don't forget to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Thanks. Thanks to SoFi for sponsoring this episode. See if rates are competitive and if you can save money on your student loans by going to SoFi.com/Caleb.